Hey there, this is Ed Beard again with the Employer's Edge. And in our one-day workshop, Getting into Leadership Shape, one of the most energetic and really, honestly, fascinating conversations that people get into in this workshop is on the subject of false respect. And false respect are things leaders do, how leaders behave in a way where they think they're garnering respect, but they're actually having the opposite effect. They're actually losing respect with their people. They're disintegrating respect because they're doing things that are not respectable. And one of the reasons leaders get into this mindset, they go down this path over time, is because at the beginning of their leadership world, they were never put on a right path of developing trust and respect. And we do that in getting into leadership shape. And then in the absence of knowing the right way to do something, well, in a moment they had to get a team to perform and do a job, so they led through fear, or they led through command and control. Hey, it worked once, I think I'll do it again. And then again. And over a period of years, it becomes them. And over a period of time, they develop this mindset of false respect that they think is real, and they just don't have a clue as the problems that they're causing because they don't even see it. They think they're doing respectable things, but they're not. And in all the coaching that we see, all over the place, we notice that false respect typically will boil down to one of four categories. One of them is respect through being the entertainer, respect through being a know-it-all, respect through command and control, and number four would be, and often the biggest one, is respect through being a fear leader, always keeping people on edge, right? So the first one, respect through being an entertainer, always being someone's friend, being really nice, or being the jokester, making people laugh. And leaders think that if people are laughing and happy and having a good time together, somehow that's productive. The problem with that is that actually on the team fosters mediocrity, and the friendship and the bonding, the collaboration becomes more important than the output of the team, the productivity. And that's just not a good thing to do. There's a place for keeping people on their toes and giving them good, honest feedback. You don't always need to be someone's friend. You don't always need to be cracking jokes. But they think it's great leadership if they're the funny person. Number two is the know-it-all. Someone who always has the right answer, and their answer is bigger and better than yours. They one-up people constantly. I don't know what it is, but why is it that leaders think they have to know the best and right answer all the time? It seems to me leadership is the exact opposite. You have people on your team that are supposed to know that. And so what happens is when the leader knows the best and brightest all the time, it stops innovation and stops free creative thinking. What's the point of me coming up with a problem or a solution if you already have your own better problem or solution? If you already know what we're going to do, why in the world would I even bother trying to do anything? And so it really shuts down the morale on the team because people don't get to show up. Very similar to the number three, which is the false respect of command and control, where leaders have to micromanage and dictate every motion, every thought on their team, and somehow they think if they're in everybody's business, that is leading. And it's respectful. And the truth is, it has the exact opposite effect, and I'll tell you why, is because it prevents people from owning their world and their job. If you're going to tell me everything I have to do, what's the point of me even understanding the problem or coming up with a solution to a problem? You're going to do it anyway. And so people just become robots. It just shuts down morale, shuts down innovation, it shuts down ingenuity, but most of all, it stops people from owning their job because their job is really just doing what you say. They're just robots. So they become uninvested in their, if that's a word, in their own world. And that actually, performance just suffers tremendously under command and control leaders. But they think they're garnering respect because they're in your business constantly. The fourth kind, the biggest kind that we see false respect, is leadership through fear. You know what? This is just huge. Leaders think that if they keep you on edge, always throwing comments at you that keep you in some state of fear, somehow you respect them more. Always saying stuff like, if you even have a job in December, you'd be lucky to even get a bonus this year. Or you know what, I'm not seeing, I don't know why you'd even be called to this strategic meeting. I'm not sure you even know what's going on. And we find that we actually have people that park in parking lots off-site so they don't have to park in front of that leader's window, or they'll walk around an entire building to get to and from the break room or the drinking fountain just not to pass that leader's office, because that leader's going to call them in and put them on edge somehow. So what the people on that team learn to do is they learn to be very quiet, just fly under the radar. And they also learn to send out a lot of emails to waste or to cover their rear end. And when the fear leader, sends an email to them, they start documenting everything. They spend a lot of time documenting, and that just wastes a ton of time. If you're that fear leader, yeah, they're doing it at work, and yeah, I know you told them not to, but yeah, they are doing it at work, just so you know. They waste a ton of time, and fear leaders foster a ton of time wastage. People don't want to make decisions for a fear leader, and they're constantly handing off jobs to other people, getting them back, handing them off, getting them back, handing them off. No one wants to make the call in that type of a fear culture led by that fear leader, because the risk of making a wrong decision is just way too big. So what do you say we just not make a decision at all and take 5 times longer to do any real task that has to get done? So those are the 4 types of false leadership that we cover in our Getting Into Leadership Shape, and in our book, Getting Into Leadership Shape 2. Our leadership through fear, leadership through being an entertainer, leadership through command and control, and leadership through being a know-it-all. So if you know someone that wrestles with this, they don't see it, but you do, Getting Into Leadership Shape might be a good workshop for them. Hope that helped.